The United States is on the cusp of sending tanks to Ukraine. They claim that this is in advance of an expected Russian offensive, so we're sending M1 Abrams tanks to Ukraine. This is a bananas idea because Zelensky is a fraud. This is a position that I have taken firmly on this show almost from day one. Almost from day one. I remember the day that I realized that Zelensky wasn't just a politician with a slightly different ideology, maybe a different set of interests here. The day I realized Zelensky was a fraud was the day that he called for the United States and NATO to enforce a no-fly zone over Ukraine. And I thought, whoa, Zelensky calling for the US and NATO to enforce a no-fly zone means that he wants the US and NATO forces to actually shoot down Russian jets if they infringe on Ukrainian airspace. And if the US or NATO shoots down a Russian jet, what happens? Then the US and NATO are now part of World War III. We're part of a war with Russia, probably a nuclear war with Russia. And I thought to myself, any person, politician, who calls for that, especially when you're the president of a country, meaning you should have some education about politics and the ramifications of political actions, any person that would call for that, any politician that would stand for that is psycho. Truly psycho. Zelensky is a fraud. He actively wants an Afghanistan-style forever war in Ukraine, where the United States, he's bleeding the United States, hemorrhaging the United States for trillions of dollars, and he wants it to continue indefinitely. What's his end goal? I don't know. When you talk about an end goal, he wears his combat boots and stages one of those videos, which, by the way, are literally staged with a green screen. He stages one of those videos talking about the fighting spirit of Ukrainian people, conflating the two. The Ukrainian people do have an incredible fighting spirit. You can recognize that and also recognize that Zelensky is a fraud that is actively endangering his people. We should not give Zelensky another dime. We have come to the point where we should not be giving him any more weapons or support unless we, the United States, are controlling his actions. I don't care if this sounds like I'm saying the United States should boss around Zelensky and what he does for his country. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. We should be bossing Zelensky around if we are funding his lifestyle. It's like sending a child off to college. If a child pays for college themselves, they don't have to share their grades or their weekend activities with their parents. They're independent. But if the parent is paying for the child's college, then yeah, the parent has a right to log in and see the child's grades. The parent has a right to ask, what are you doing on the weekends? And govern the child's behavior because that child's lifestyle is being funded by the parent. We are the parent in this situation, and Zelensky is a misbehaved teenager who is about to draw the United States into nuclear war with Russia.